Hello YouTube world, this is Marco G here on Motorcycle Tips and Trips, and today we have another video. And the last video we did was the quick release on the saddlebag, but guess what, I broke down and decided to buy new saddlebags because I had a reason for that. And the bags I bought now was Viking. I like their design, and also they have a lock, and that was very important to me in carrying my gear, my drone, my GoPro stuff. I could put in my brake free, I could put it in here, lock it up, lock my helmet, and feel safe. So follow me and we're going to show you how we're going to do that and attach the quick release to this. Okay, here's the Vikings. Like I said, I got it because it has a lock right here. Most of the saddlebags I've seen out there, they're alike. Leatherman and all of them out there, they have pretty much the same, and they have this, and where you put some padlocks here. But the great thing here, I could put a key and lock my stuff, and they can't open it. You know, a thief is going to be a thief, but important part, I can lock and feel much safer. Also, this has this extra pouch on this one. You can find hard covers and all kinds, and I do like this. It's quick access. You can put a phone, come with paper here, throw that out. And you can put whatever you need in there. Like my case, I'll probably have my eyeglasses. That when I ride, I don't need to wear them. I just need it for a close-up. So you could unlock this, and it has Velcro. And that's one thing I had problem with the Suzuki. Oop, I probably locked it. That the I won't lock it, forget to flip it, and starts flapping, and I lose things out on the road. And that's one thing I did not like. So this is a nice thing. It has a hard case in here, and I'll show you a closer view. Okay, here we are. This is the front pouch, which I like. It has also Velcro holding it, and you have a zipper, and you have a lot of space in there. That's an awesome thing. Here's where, these came out. This is where I'm saying you could put padlocks in here. Most of them have that style, but that's a pain. You got to put the padlock, take it off. I'd rather have a straight lock like this. Open these up, and you can see here, here's the Velcro on the side here, and the Velcro over here. You got the Velcro there, so not moving. And that's the lock right there, which is awesome. Also has a pouch in here, which I like to have. This is where you could leave your there's extra keys. I could leave my registration real easy there. Also, this comes with it. I took it off. This is if you don't have mounts, you can run it through your bike, through your seat. Regular saddlebags if you want that style. But it's not, I don't want that style. I'm gonna have the quick release, and then we're gonna go over it. You know, it's fully leather. I need to condition these because they've never been, but this comes in with it, and that's when you take this off, you have it here, and this is where we're gonna put the mounts. So let's move on. Okay guys, here we are. We're just comparing the two. This one has more of a slant. This has a little slant upright. This probably has a little bit more space, probably a little bit, but this one has this outside, which is great. I just like the look, and like I said, important to me is this lock. Also comes with these brackets. These are free. That comes with it. Most of them don't sell you this. You have to buy it separate. So they're pretty good. I've heard people complain that this were cheap and all this stuff. Hey, it's not cheap. It's pretty good stuff there. If you want something fancy, go ahead, buy it. They give it to you. So here are the nice things. You have all your spacers like you need on your bike. I have original spacers there if you need it, but this is nice to have all the bolts. And this has another extra, just one extra clamp if you ever break one of these. That's nice to know that they have that. So let's move on and try to get this on there. Okay, we're back. Here's the Viking bag that I got. We show you how I set it up. and this pretty much I had made it this way. You have to make it where it fits better for your bike. This method, what I use, will work on anyone, but this one will work for the Suzuki Boulevard. This is the bracket. I put different bolts up here, and I'll show you what I've done. It comes with these short ones. These worked fine. This is like a 5mm. We're using this through the back and running it through here with these nuts that came with this. It just falls in there, so it's adjustable, but once it's locked in, it's locked in. The screws that they had was longer, and they were too long. I couldn't use it, so I got a hex screw. And the reason I rather have these, because when I'm sitting on the bracket, it was easier for me to tighten it, versus when it's in there, I cannot use, because it's going to be like this. I can't, and against the bike, I cannot use the Allen wrench to get in there. So it was easier to squeeze this in there and tighten it, because you got to make sure this is where you want it. So that's what I did there. And then once I did that, on the inside, this came with the Viking, these long ones. I used that with the lock washer just to be felt safer on the inside, and they have this big washer, so it covers more support on the inside down here. So I'm going to show you what I've done so you could follow the same principles. Okay, here we are. Let me show you. Let me place this stuff here. Should have left this key in here. Okay, now this bracket has a hole up here and has one of these nuts that we're using down here welded on there. So I use that on top and on purpose, and you need to do that. You grab this and you leave it loose so you can move it around, and you're going to slide it. Of course, you got to have it unlocked. Make sure it's in. You lock it. And then what I did, I had these straight at that moment, and I tighten it with the hex. That's why the hex is better. I went in here because I can't get an Allen wrench in there. So, and there's another reason I had to get these. So I went there, I tighten it up, and then I lock it, make sure it worked, unlock it, make sure it comes off. There was times I had a problem, it wasn't doing well. So now I know that's there, so I did tighten this. Not super tight, but just enough. Then I take this off. Once this is set, we're good. Now, I'm going to show you another thing here. Okay, so when I first did this, I ran these locks things through here, the middle ones. When I did that, and then ran the brackets out here. That's why these holes are there. I made it go here, and I used the other plate inside to hold it, but it didn't work. What was happening, once I put this here, it had too much vibrant movement, so you need it spread out further like this. So when I place it on here, also ran a problem. This was jacked up. It was, not that high, but it was off because the height here was different from there. So, no, it was jacked up this way, I guess. But anyway, it was jacked up, and I said, okay, I got to figure out what I have to do. So I ended up, also, it was way up here interfering with this step. The Suzuki normally comes with a peg, but my wife and my daughter did not like that peg. They said it vibrated too much with their foot. They didn't feel secured, so I got this. So I made sure this was as far back as possible. So that's why I did it. So let's do the next thing. Okay, so going back to this, I bought this hex here. Like I said, it was easier. This is a ratchet wrench, was much easier to work. This is an 8mm, 1.25. That's the length. 25mm. It's metric. That's with the nuts that I came with. It was the same, and I had extra nuts, so I used these. There's this one I placed here with no problem. This one here was just a little thicker. Now normally these are rounded like this, so when you move this lock here, that lock goes around this, so it went deeper. So you have a clearance, but because this is thicker, all the way around, squared, flat, it didn't work well. So what I did, I took 2 nuts that I was going to use. I used the 2 nuts, I don't know where the other one. Grab this channel lock. I had a lock like this, and it's not really complicated. I have a motor grinder and a held-in grinder. You could use your hand grinder if you want. You could grind that, and you don't need much. It's just, when I was taking off, it's hanging up, and you got to struggle. And I didn't want to do that. I was afraid I'm going to crack this in the future. So I just decided to grind it down, and I don't know if you could see that in there. So, so I had to grind that, and very, like I said, you don't want to go deep. You just enough to grind it. You get off and get up, and that's what works. So this will go back enough and clear to release. It seems hard, but it's not hard. It's just something you could do. It's simple. So and then I want to tell you how to make a difference here on this. And I'm going to show you here with this one. Okay, now I show you how to measure. Okay, so this is what I had to do on this case. And every bike is different, but I know if you have another bike, you got to make sure if this is level. In this case, this motorcycle is not level. I put in a stand just to lift the tire on the ground, but just to make it straight. Either way, you can measure it, even on a slant, it doesn't matter, but I just rather do it that way. You gotta be consistent. Either you measure the bottom of this, the top of this, and the middle. I just took the top. That was my preference. Whatever that measurement is, I took that measurement, and then I measured the top of that. So what it came out to be, on the Suzuki Boulevard, this is 3/4 difference. This is lower than this one, or vice versa, and this is higher than that one, whatever you want to say. But I knew there was a 3/4 difference, so when I put the bracket on there, I gotta bring her down 3/4 to make it sit here and be level. So follow me. Okay, so we already got this established where this is going to go all the way there. This is we already locked it, so it's in place. Remember, this thing facing forward. A couple of times I had to reverse and I had to take it apart again. So I tightened that. Didn't know necessary to Loctite it, because when we put these bolts out here, it ain't move nowhere. So I happened to put this as far as I can, and I was lucky enough that this fell in that hole there. If not, I would have made new holes. But I needed this not that forward, I need as back as possible. That would have worked for me, ideal. So it happened to fall in there. These holes are made for Indians and Harley Davidson, basically. So I took this and put this here. I grabbed this bolt, and I used, because they're a little height difference, just not much. And I put this in the hole to line this up. Okay, so this, we know these are straight, they're leveled. So I took this straight edge. You could use a 2x2, whatever works for you. You could use a level to use it straight. I placed it in there and held that right there, because we know we're off. So I ran a pencil. I have my pencil there. So his shoe was straight. So I took that off. Then the next thing I did is I grabbed this. You can move out of the way now. And I eyed it and made sure, you can see that was straight. I ran this on this side. You could use this number, but it's hard to see. I just use any number, a solid number, and I made sure, looking from here, that's straight. And I moved it 3/4 down, which is whatever number is a quarter. When I saw that mark, I held this steady here, grabbed this edge, placed it there, took this out of the way. When you start moving this, you're going to move that. So ran the pencil, and that's my pencil mark. So more or less, it's close enough. I'm 3/4 difference, because I ran the measuring tape on this side. So my next thing was, you could use silicone, whatever you want to use. I use this at hand. This is Loctite. Use blue when you use Loctite. I put a little bit on there, dab on there. So what I did, stuck this back in hole because already that's locked in. Put it into that hole again. Eyed it where that line is, close enough. We don't want to split hairs, make it complicated. Put it right there, dropped it down, boom. And of course this went in the hole. And I had the dab there. All I had to do, take a 15-16 drill bit, put it where that was, drill the hole right through it, boom. That was it. Then once I did that, I stuck these in there, put the nuts behind it, held it in position. I did not super tighten it because I needed this, and these were a little loose because I had to take it off again because I got to make sure these were straight at that moment. So I angled them to where I think is better. Once I did that, I grabbed the drill again. Bada bing, bada boom, 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 and there. I drilled a hole. So these are running from there, and all we have to do is grab these nuts, put it right in there. And I did use this. Also, no, I'm sorry, I didn't use, I used this in the back for a better support. Once this, I used Loctite, because this is a threaded. And once that's tight in there, this ain't gonna move. They ain't gonna move no left or right. Loctite secured it, and that's all we had to do. So she's finished. I hope that don't sound complicated, but like I said, we went here, came down. Now when we put it on there, it'll look even. So I'm gonna put this together real quick. Okay, so I grabbed this guy here, and they come with these plugs in the package, and just plug these holes back up. So I put in that hole, push it in there, pull it up. I grab this washer, put it there, grab this lock washer, put the nut on. Got a bigger washer for, like I said, better support. So I grab these guys. This nut, whoa, easy, don't go nowhere, don't go. Grab this guy, put it through here, have it ready. Brought it up, run through the hole, and pick this up, and this Loctite's too liquidy. I wish it was a little more pastier, but there you are. It's not going nowhere. Now grab the square. Grabbing this Allen wrench that comes with the Viking bags, and you just tighten it. I mean, snug it tight, but don't rip it through, you know? No Donkey Konging. Grab this other one, run it through the hole. Okay, now I'm grabbing this and tighten it tight. Of course, because the lock washer, I don't have to Loctite this one. I don't. And that's it. There's your Viking bags. I mean, they're sharp. They got the emblem there. This goes like this to hold it from there, but of course that's for looks. But other than that, here we go. Let's put them on. Okay, now we grab this bag, slide it in the compartment. I'll make sure this is unlocked. Goes down all the way in. Click. It didn't go over there. There. Key out. She ain't going nowhere. Put the key in, and like I said, I already tested before coming out. Oops, make sure that key don't stay locked. And you're gonna give me trouble today, right? And she comes right off. There she is, she's done. That's simple. All right. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell a friend, share. Tell me what your opinion is. Here we go. Okay guys, this is the conclusion of this video. Tell me what you think, what you like. Tell me your comments. I like them, the teardrop look. I think it looks better than with the original ones. Hope that helped you. Subscribe so you could hear and hit the notification bell so you know what my next video. Thanks for helping me out. Thanks for following me. And we're moving along, and I have to go now. Oh, got to make sure I turn on my brake ring. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go for my ride.